Bunny is the quintessential character in the First Descendant, and so today I wanted to go through a quick little build guide in terms of what you're going to want to use to help you farm in the early, mid to late endgame content, which is going to see you essentially carry your teammates through a ton of hard difficulty level content with tons of survivability and tons of damage output. There's nothing really too deep and too hard that you really need to grind for to make this build set up. So once you've got Bunny and once you're heading towards the late stages of the campaign and into the early stages of the post-campaign endgame that is available in the First Descendant, then this build is going to allow you to farm quickly for endgame materials. It's going to allow you to build up your collection of ultimate weapons and ultimately help you in your grind towards your ultimate characters, and more specifically that ultimate Bunny that we know that everybody wants and that everybody loves. And so let's dive straight into the build and the setup going. Obviously, with Bunny, then the main thing is the speed factor and that burst AoE lightning effect that she offers, and you basically want to keep that to a maximum uptime as much as possible. So to do that, we want to basically have a high HP value to just add to that little bit of survivability once your shields are depleted, and then we also want to maximize the area effect of the skills that she has, as well as the damage output that you can do with them. Now, the main thing with this is obviously you want to try and level up Bunny as fast as possible. You want to get them maximum level 4 skills on both your passive skills and all of your active skills. And the main ones that you're going to want to use are obviously the speed of light, which is going to make you super fast. It's going to effectively allow you to farm a ton of content really quickly, and you want to keep the uptime of that to the maximum, and to do that you're going to want to basically increase your MP uptime. And then on top of that you want the lightning emission, and you want to decrease the cooldown of that as much as possible, and obviously we can build that up a little bit with that speed of light ability. And then another one that I tend to use fairly often is the Frill Bomb. This is good for just mob clearing, and the cooldown on this is essentially non-existent and is perfect when paired with the speed boosting that we're going to be able to set up with this build. In terms of the modules that you want to go for on this, now I think the main thing that you want to do is, like I say, once you've leveled up that Bunny, you want to increase the module capacity up to the maximum that you can get. You do get one of the module capacity upgrades once you do finish the main campaign, so if you want to use that on Bunny for this build, then I do recommend it, as it's going to give you a little bit more capacity in terms of increasing the viability of the mods that we're going to select on this build. And also one of the main ones that's probably going a little bit slept on in terms of the early game content is getting the triple grapple hook going. This is one that only tends to drop towards the end of the main campaign, but essentially this is free in terms of its mod capacity, but if you maximize it, then you do get extra 10 capacity for your modules. So if you enhance this module in the tower, then essentially you will be able to get more module space on your character, and that's going to allow us to max out this early Bunny endgame build as much as possible. Now, like I say, you want to get that HP up as high as possible, and the increased HP module is going to do just that, with a 218.5% increase on your HP. Combined with all your reactors and your other module slots, then that's going to give you a massive boost in terms of survivability, and if you enhance this, then it's going to be really worthwhile, to be honest. In terms of the module setup though that we've got in here, then the only ones that I have in terms of the socket types are 2. I think one of them was basic, and then I may have just added one recently just to increase some of my module capacity, but it's absolutely not required. So in terms of the rest of the mods that you're going to need with this build, then skill expansion, maximize that as high as possible. That's going to give your skill effect range a massive boost with a 92.3% boost when you have that one maxed out, which is going to increase that lightning effect on Bunny when you're sprinting around trying to delete everything. You want to use the time distribution mod if you've managed to get this one to drop, then that's going to decrease your skill cooldown. It's also going to increase your maximum HP, and once you max that one out, it's going to give you some bigger bonuses as well as Nimble Fingers, which is going to give you a good skill cooldown as well, maxed out as a 25% skill cooldown, and it's going to give you a massive uptime in your skills, especially that Frill Bomb as well. Maximum efficiency, again, just doubling down on that maximum MP cost, and your skill cost is just going to make them a little bit more easier to use, and the uptime of them combined with Nimble Fingers and time distribution is going to make everything a lot easier to use more often and help you with your farming runs. Strong Mentality, again, doubling down on that, is going to give you a skill cost decrease with 15.2%. And then on top of that, the main ones that you really do want to focus on in this build is the Singular Specialist, which is going to give you that massive boost to that Lightning Surge in terms of the skill modifier. It's going to give you a 50% damage increase. And then Focus on Electricity is going to give you another 77.2% increase in your electric skill power, and also give you that skill cooldown as well. So this build is just going to allow you to keep that uptime of the speed boost going, and along with your MP pickups that you're going to get from nuking enemies, then this thing you're going to be able to just speed through early levels and essentially help melt any of the bosses, especially with any of that Void Reactor farm or stuff like that you're doing in terms of getting your modules and your reactors to crack and open up for your ultimates, and especially that ultimate bunny farm, which I think I'm going to cover a video on that in the near future. In terms of weapons, then obviously the Tamer, again, one that you're going to get towards the end of the campaign, a really good little weapon. You can essentially farm for this till your heart's content once you do get towards the end game. Alternatively, then you can chuck in a Thunder Cage, which is one of the easiest ultimate weapons to farm. We did a video on that one recently. If you max that one out, essentially you're going to be using that area effect damage that this thing offers on defeating literally every single enemy, and does decent damage as well, although not as good for nuking bosses as the Tamer is and then higher health enemies. Now, in terms of reactors that you want to use, then obviously you want to get up to that level 100 in terms of your reactors and your external components. You want to try and get something that has the electric skill power boost. You know, you want all the boxes ticked, essentially. And then obviously you just want to match up your weapon of choice. That's going to give you a lot of damage output in terms of your skills and abilities. Now, one of the main things that I've been trying to farm for once I've hit the end game is the Supernova components, which essentially drop from the Executioner on the hard difficulty Void Intercept battles. Now, these are one of the first drops that I got, and essentially you get a set bonus boost when you have 2 or 4 of these equipped. The 2 equipped is a really good little bonus, as it's going to give you a skill power modifier for your electrical skills with an 8.6% boost, and then with that 4 set bonus you're going to get an extra boost to your fusion skill power modifier, and you're also going to get some Thunderbolt damage at that location, which is activating essentially the ultimate from the Executioner. It's giving you that essentially for free with these components. So I've got the auxiliary power unit and the Supernova memory, and then on top of that I've got a Acrobat set bonus as well, which is a really good little set bonus, as it's going to give you a skill power bonus at a 2 set and a firearm attack bonus, and again that is boosted even further if you do get a 4 set bonus. So either of these sets or combination of these sets I think are really good in terms of your early, mid to end game bunny builds, and they're going to really help you with farming a ton of content in the First Descendant. I know that a lot of people have said that Freyna is really good for some of the, you know, farming for the ultimate bunny, but I prefer to do my farming with something like Sharon to get the bonuses, to get the, you know, recon missions done, and then switch back to Bunny. She's perfect for melting any of the Void Reactor bosses and any of the other bosses that you need in terms of if you just want a quick farm of any of them outposts, then Bunny, this build is going to set you up, and it's going to help you a long way to make and reduce some of the end game grind towards your ultimates and your favourite setups. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, then you know what to do. Give it a like, subscribe if you've been here before and you haven't already. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this bunny build, and I'll see you in the next video.